What's up, Taekwondoistas? Welcome to my Taekwondo journey where I talk about life. And as you may know, I haven't been recording these videos that often. I haven't been doing Taekwondo. And the reason is because of two things. One, my teacher actually moved somewhere else, so that put a stop to what I've been doing and progressing towards, but at the same time I also found many other places to go. But I didn't go because I wasn't ready yet. And I wasn't ready yet because I kind of had a spiritual awakening and going through all this spiritual stuff that I'm figuring out at the moment. And I think this is now my time to do the spiritual stuff. So that being said, what is a spiritual awakening? What is the spiritual stuff? Well, it's definitely not the whole this reality is all an illusion, we are all one, like everything is God, we are gods. It's none of that stuff. Actually, it's quite the opposite. And what I'm here to say today are what I feel are what's lacking in the church, and why a lot of people are moving away from God, the idea of a personal God that takes care of all of us and that knows and loves all of us, towards more New Agey themes of pantheism and we're all divine and everything is one. And if you really look at it, if everything is one, you are God. And if you are God, you are all alone. And so that's what woke me up. And I realized the truth, and I realized the way. And I also realized that I departed for a bit from Christianity. And the reason why is that the church doesn't address these things that people hunger for. It's just my opinion. I did read a treatise called A Christian Perspective on the New Age. I think it was issued on the Vatican website. And it's a 6-year-long study of the New Age. And it compares it with traditional Christian beliefs. And what it found was that Christian beliefs are not compatible with New Age beliefs. And it also recognized that the Catholic Church and the churches have kind of dropped the ball. And so this is my awakening and what I found in this whole process. So the church dropped the ball. A lot of people are looking for supernatural answers. They're looking for spirituality, and they say, oh, I'm spiritual, I'm not religious. But every religion is spiritual. And they say, oh, I don't want organized religion, I want a religion that works for me and that I can pick and choose what I want that works. Okay, every pagan thing, every shamanic thing, every spiritual thing that you come across is organized. Okay, don't try to separate yourself from organized religion. Okay, you still build your altars, you still do your rituals, you still worship, you still congregate in a group, you still have your beliefs. It's pretty organized. There's diets, there's plant diets. It's organized. And you can't be religious without also being spiritual. Religion is spirituality, okay? So it's not between religion and spirituality. It's really between your relationship to God. And so the church hasn't been addressing these types of questions. Most churches. There surely are some churches out there that do a great job of it. There's so many churches, but a lot of people want to know the deep questions. What are aliens? What happens when we die? What are demons? How do they relate to us? Just really deep questions, esoteric things. And they say, I have this esoteric knowledge that's been hidden by the church. But what if all that knowledge was just right in front of you right there? you just have to think of where the messages are coming from. That's another thing. You were taught to believe in the church and not question. But I think that's a factor of demographics and the time period people were brought up. Because if you look at your parents' generation, most people are not taught to question authority. Now people are. So not just the church, but a lot of other people are not equipped to handle these questions. So first of all, they're shocked because they're not used to being asked. And also they haven't really thought about it. So now it's time to think about it. Christianity is a very, very deep religion that people don't know so many other things about it. Because it's not taught, it's not heard, and it's given to you in a flavor that has worked for many, many years. But now other aspects are coming into play, like empathy. Okay, it's right to have empathy, and well, actually they do teach that, to love people, to come from a place of understanding to love. And that's a lot of the reason why people leave the church and they go to other types of spiritual beliefs, because they get that love, they feel special. A lot of times when we're born, and this has nothing to do with the church, but we get criticized by our parents, and then we don't understand what we did wrong. We don't understand why we did something wrong. And maybe the church might, come across and say this is bad, but doesn't explain why. And we want to know why now. And it's not that, and we fall prey to some lessons and teachings that tell us that we're special, therefore we're divine and we must be God, because we long for that acceptance. And it's definitely not wrong to have that. But there comes a time where church has to deal with these things and explain Christianity in a way that meets these needs, because human beings have needs of significance. They have need of connection and love. They have need for certainty, and I think that's where Christianity really shines, that certainty that people are looking for. Where do we go after we die? What happens? How do we live our life? It's all in the Bible. So those are just some things I've come across in my awakening, in my spiritual journey, thinking that and the Catholic Church recognizes that, hey, we haven't been doing a great job at communicating this effectively. So now is the time to open your minds and to be more like to communicate the message in a way that other people can hear, and to not make people feel like they're doing something wrong. Just to understand that it's, why things are the way they are. Understand why this commandment is, or this law is. And just have people grow in maturity. Because a lot of times people aren't too mature to really think about spiritual topics. They're awful bosses at work, still treating their people like the Egyptian pharaohs treated the Israelites. So human beings, they do need to mature. They don't need to ascend in higher consciousness, okay, but they do need to just have this kind of critical thinking and this kind of love for everyone. So with that, I'm going to wish you all wonderful, pleasant evenings and lives and weeks, and hopefully, one day I will get back to martial arts and share my knowledge on that. But as this is, and I still call myself a Taekwondoist, this is my journey, and these are the things I found, and this is why I've been absent so long. So best of luck on your journey, and I'll see you in the next video.